The vast majority of materials used on benchtops come from Italy, and Italy has an incredible history of not only creating or at least extracting the most beautiful slabs, but some that reflect the beautiful old mountains that surround this amazing region. So this is really where our benchtop journey begins. You can see just how natural the products that we at Artedomus represent, and from here we will begin to search and find the most beautiful and durable benchtops in the world. Here they quarry marble, a beautiful red, rich stone which looks quite detailed and interesting. So what they do essentially is they carve around or dig around the softer material to reveal large chunks of the harder material. An explosion splits that part of the rock and it falls on its side. There it can be accessed by a wire cutter that eventually carves it into more manageable pieces.
We're standing here inside the mountains of Carrara. This Arabescato quarry has been used consecutively for about 150 years. I think it's incredibly important that we get to come here and see the stone being extracted. It gives you a real sense of scale and the history of the material. Once the material's cut into slabs, you can really start to see the natural beauty of each piece, and that's where we begin our selection process for Artedomus. We've already been lucky enough to visit 2 quarries and see how the material is extracted. Here we're standing in the Blockyard where the material's prepared for cutting. They have a number of steps including quality control, weighing and trimming, before the material's sent further down the road to the slab cutting facility. This afternoon we'll be able to visit the slab warehouse and see the final processing and also the beautiful finished slabs that we pick to take to Australia.
So at Artedomus, we look for a variety of different things when we're procuring natural stone. One of the things that we look for is, most obviously, its aesthetic attributes. The other things that we're looking for, of course, is the length of the slabs and often the width of the slabs to ensure that they're suitable for a large island bench or a back bench that's got a matching splashback. So in this particular yard, we've got lots of travertine and we've also got lots of white marbles. So there are different colours, tones and textures from travertines. You can select a vein-cut travertine or a cross-cut travertine. However, at Artedomus, vein-cut travertine is one of our favourites. Travertine can be filled or unfilled, but for a benchtop type application, you really should use a filled travertine at least to cover up the bigger and deeper cavities that develops in the stone. Marble is an incredible stone. It starts as a sedimentary stone and is described as what we call a metamorphic stone. In other words, it's changed from one stone type to another. Marble does contain calcium carbonate, as well as obviously other minerals. And when you're using it for a kitchen benchtop, you need to be mindful of protecting it against acids and also oils. In my opinion, quartzite is one of the best stones that you can use for a benchtop. Not only does it have those beautiful colours and imperfections with vein structures running through it, but it's got the very low calcium carbonate content, and therefore you don't have to look after it quite as intensely as you would a marble or a limestone or travertine. One of the best things is that you can seal the stone with what we call a penetrating sealer, which retains the natural colour, tone and texture of the material.
The incredible thing about quartzite materials and what makes them so impressive for kitchens is their durability. The durability comes from the structure of the stone, and with the quartzites they're able to extract massive blocks.
Granite, an igneous stone, which is a very, very hard stone, is slightly different from some of those metamorphic stones we talked about, for example, marble and also quartzite. The best thing about granite is its consistency. It's very, very durable because it's got no imperfections through it like vein structures. Granite does come with some really unusual patterns and also some interesting tones and textures, and is a fantastic stone for a kitchen benchtop or a variety of other applications. once you've selected the slab, one needs to consider how you're going to express the edges and where it connects with other surfaces in your kitchen. The connection and relationship between each of those pieces is of the utmost importance.
I think at Artedomus we're really lucky to have such a broad range of benchtop materials. When we come to Italy, we're able to have a look at all of the stone options that we can offer, plus obviously ceramic and also terrazzo.
So today we're just down the road from the Duomo in Milan in the GranitiFiandre showroom. So porcelain panels in particular make for great benchtops. There's a predictability in the material that the end user and designer can expect. Therefore, the overall integrity and aesthetic of the material won't change throughout its lifespan. In particular, Fiandre's porcelain panels are incredible due to the fact that they are made without any volatile organic compounds, and due to the technologies that they are developing, are now also available as full-bodied porcelain panels. We carry a variety of different thicknesses varying from 6 mil, 12 mil, and 20 mil. From there, our staff are able to provide you with a sample for you to be able to test the material yourself. You can test it for scratch resistance, acid etching, UV resistance, all of which you'll find that the porcelain panels can withstand. One of the grand innovations of Fiandre is Active, a surface treatment that can be used on any of the tiles and panels that is antiviral, antibacterial, self-cleaning, and anti-odor.
Terrazzo can be used obviously on floors and walls, but also as benchtops. The material is full-bodied, but you should always try and support the material, especially across large spans. To ensure your benchtop looks its best, you should get to any spills or contaminants as quickly as you can. One also needs to embrace the fact that the product is likely to change over time and develop a patina. This patina, in fact, is what makes stone and other materials similar to terrazzo improve over time rather than decline. So the thing I like most about terrazzo is it's very versatile. This allows a more consistent application across a variety of planes.
One of the first finishes people want to choose when they're starting a new project is the kitchen benchtop. A lot of the design aesthetic can come from this one item, so it's a super important part of what we do. And we're very proud that we get the opportunity to choose so many fantastic options.